Bella Swim and Fitness. Okay, now watch. I'm going to go get this paper towel right here. With this paper towel, this is actually the end of the bread recipe, but I'll show it to you in a little while. I take the oil that I've already put in this pan, and I just make sure that I've got it rubbed over the surfaces, the corners, and the bottom. So actually, I'm getting ready to put in 3 pan loads right now. I've actually got 3 that have 24 minutes left at baking. And this is the friendship bread. So there's the second one. And now here's the third. I know that the battery on this remote, it's not on right now. So that's why I'm bringing the pans over to show you. Okay, now as soon as I'm through with this cloth, I'm actually going to put it in the sink because the batter is so thick that sometimes if you put your sponge on it, it sticks to it. So now I'm going to take this little concoction here. This is cinnamon and sugar. So with the cinnamon and sugar, I take a tablespoon and sprinkle it on the bottom of the pan. You can put how much you want. The last load I didn't put enough in the bowl, so I didn't put a whole lot on the bottom of the pan. And then you just sprinkle it on. Just have fun. Don't be too serious about anything. It turns out different every time anyway. Okay, so you take your pan. Just sprinkle it on the bottom. If you didn't get enough, just go back and get a little more. Okay, now I save the rest of this for the very top. Okay, now I'm going to move this camera over here a little bit. Okay, so wait right there. I'll be right there. I'm going to take this humongous bowl out of the sink. This is so big because I have so much batter in it. Okay, I'm going to pour the first pan. Okay, that's only going to put in that pan. Then I'm going to move to the second pan. Okay, that's enough in that pan. And then I'm moving to the third pan. I'm going to try and get them all even. But that doesn't work all the time. So let me get some of the scrapings out of here. And try and get it. I think I need a little bit more in the first pan. So I'll come back to this first pan. This is very slippery right now because this is my second load. So the pan has been through a little bit of work. Okay, so once I get the batter in that pan, I'm going to take this back to the sink because I'm going to show you in a minute how to do that whole concoction. Okay, now with the rest of this, you put it on the top of the pans that you've prepared for the oven. You just gingerly put it along the sides. It doesn't really matter because when it starts to cook, it reestablishes itself, like it settles at a different area than you actually put it in anyway. So I just sprinkle it on the top. Sprinkle it on all 3. And you know, each one of these loaves, they come out a little bit differently depending on what position in the oven it had on, if you had exactly the same amount. So I'll just pour the rest of that one on there. I'm not too picky about anything. Okay, now I'm going to turn you back around. And I'm going to show you how I started it. So I don't know if you can see this bowl. I'm going to try and position it so that you can. I already have my bag prepared. It's been on the sink for 10 days. So you start the first day just going like this. For the next 5 days, this is what you do. Once a day, you squeeze it, you put it down. After 5 days of squeezing it and put it down, you open the bag and you add 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of sugar, and 1 cup of flour. Then 6-day squeeze, 7-day squeeze, 8-day squeeze, 9-day squeeze, and 10-day, you open the bag, you put 1.5 cups of sugar, 1.5 cups of flour, and 1.5 cups of milk. So this has already been prepared. So all I'm going to do is put it right into this bowl. So it's been prepared for 10 days now. On the sink, with the milk, with the sugar, with the flour, everything's been prepared on the sink. Okay, so I easily put that into the trash can and just wipe my hands off just for a sec. Okay, so watch. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this. I've already done 3 batches today, so everything's a little bit dirty, but we don't care. Okay, so here goes your first cup. 1 cup of milk. Pour it in. So I put that to the side just for a minute, and then I'm just going to push the, actually I'm not going to use the spoon. I'm going to use the spatula. So the spatula really pretty nicely works, almost better than a beater. See how evenly that's going in? And I'm just pushing that little I'm not even sure what the name of this is, egg beater around. Okay, so there is your cup of milk. Okay, now we take the oil. Same thing. You pour in a cup of oil. I like olive oil. I know that olive oil has a warning on it about temperatures and that it doesn't do too well. But all in all, the olive oil to me makes a better taste. It's a little bit more healthy. Now watch. See how evenly it folds in there? So this little egg beater in the bowl is very nice. Okay, now I've got the milk in, I've got the oil in. Wait 1 second. Magic eggs. Okay, so take the bowl, and then I just put the eggshell to the side. I make things as easy for me as I can. Because if you don't have fun baking, you're not going to bake. So just have fun. Do it your way. Don't do it somebody else's way. Okay, there goes the shell almost in, but I caught it. Okay, now, just rinse off my hands again. Handy sink right there. Okay, so I'm going to tilt this down again so that you can see how I'm folding in the eggs. I know some of the words that go with baking, but not all of them. I'm pretty new at this. I've been doing this bread for about a year though, and it's a friendship bread, so I give it to my friends. Okay, now the next ingredient is sugar. Wait 1 second, I'll be right there. And here is my cup of sugar. In, put the cup back in there, and now I fold in this sugar. It goes in pretty easily. So if you have babies that are sleeping or people around that don't want a lot of noise, this is very good because you don't have to use a beater. Okay, now I've got all that folded in. So now I am using baking powder. You want 1.5 teaspoons. There's 1. There's a 1/2. I don't worry about too much. Okay, you have to make this fun and easy, otherwise you're not going to do it. So I like to make about 6 loaves a week. There is my teaspoon of baking soda. And now I'm putting in a teaspoon of salt. There you go. Okay, now, the recipe does call for 2 teaspoons of vanilla, but watch. There's my vanilla. Everybody's bread comes out a little bit differently. Okay, now, it also asks for 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. Watch. there's my load of cinnamon. So I'm going to put a little bit more in this bowl over here to prepare for the lid. So when I'm using the cinnamon and I put it in the batter, I take a little bit and put it in the bowl because that's where the sugar mixture is going to be to put on the pans. Okay, now here we go again. We're just going to fold that in. It happens pretty quickly. You just use your little beater. You don't have to put a lot of force to it. Okay, 1 minute. Vanilla pudding. Okay, we are going to empty the contents of the vanilla pudding into the bowl. Okay, I take that, I put the eggshells in the box. I mean, I'm not making too much of a mess. Put it directly under the sink into the trash can. Okay, now I'm just going to mix in the vanilla pudding. It mixes in pretty gingerly. It goes pretty smooth. Mixes right in. Okay, here is almost the last two ingredients. So, excuse me a minute while I reach. Flour, 1 cup, and flour, 2 cups. Put that back into the container. These are my containers. Big, huge glass containers, protein mix. Here's the already made batch. And now we are back. We're going to go right back to mixing our new batch. So the new batch, the flour sometimes can take a little bit of time. Just enjoy it. Sing a song. Think about your favorite movie. What are you going to be doing later on in the day? I have an appointment to go over a book that I wrote today. I have another appointment to drop off some new skin products that I sell. I have another appointment to go in a surf lesson later on today. Okay, so now, one last thing. Your walnuts. So I take these walnuts, I put them on my little cutting board here. I'll put that bag away in a sec. Then I take a bigger knife because I'm just going to chop these up. I have 11 minutes on my first 3 loaves left. So as soon as my first 3 loaves come out, I put the second 3 loaves in. And then these that I'm making right now, I'm going to put in the refrigerator overnight because I have company coming in the morning. So I will put them right into the oven so that the fresh smell and fresh bread will be here. So I don't really cut these up any certain way, just so, you know, that they're pretty grounded up. Then I just take them, put them in the bowl. There you go. Okay, now I'm going to mix those in. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe because it's one of my favorites and my friends love it. So watch. Here's the last of it. So you just watched the entirety of putting it in the pan and making a new recipe. So this load will have to wait for those first 3 pans to come out. See you later. Bye. Paula's Swim and Fitness, by the way. Bye-bye.